Hi, I'm Maria Thea Harris, or Velosos on social media. Welcome back to Sew Over 50 podcast on Sew Organised Style. Grab a cuppa and relax with us.
Sew Organised Style podcast acknowledges traditional owners of country throughout Australia. We pay our respects to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures and to the elders past, present and emerging.
Thanks for joining us on Sew Over 50 podcast. Sew Over 50 intersects with all communities. We're a community that is so over ageism. Listeners, when Helga and Nicole and I were recording their recent Sewing Friends podcast, we discussed sewing bras in a bit of detail. Helga has sewn some amazing bras for herself and her daughter. I'm also improving my bra sewing skills and trying new bra styles. Nicole would like to sew her own bras, and in this episode we have a conversation where we're encouraging Nicole to think about sewing bras as a future project. If you haven't yet listened to Helga and Nicole's Sewing Friend podcast, go to episode 305, published on the 2nd of March. Many thanks once more to Helga and Nicole for giving their time and supporting Sew Over 50 and Sew Organised Style podcast. Let's listen into that conversation now.
Hi, Maria.
Hello, how are you, Nick? Shall I call you Nicole or Nikki?
That's how you like it. I listen to both of it. That's okay. Hi, Helga.
Hi, Maria. Hi, Nicole. Nice
Hi.
to see you.
Nice to see you.
Are you well, Maria?
I'm very well.
You look well. That's good.
Thank you.
You have a different background today.
This is my sewing room.
Oh, how nice.
I'm very glad to see that you have piles of fabric lying there too, because it's the same view in my sewing room.
I'm going to a wedding and the dress I've got is a strap dress. So it's just straight across. I've got a bra that I can wear with it, but I think today I'll make a strapless bra, like the Esplanade bra.
Oh, wow. That sounds interesting.
It's a long line bra, so it extends beyond the bra line and kind of holds your rib cage in. So there's a lot of stability, and I've made it twice before and I thought, oh, maybe I should make another one.
But that's quite a task for one day, isn't it?
Yes, it is, but I've done it before.
Okay.
And I have everything sort of here.
That's great.
Maria is a great bra maker. If you have looked at her account, you can see she's making lots of bras. And I think that's how you found me, Maria. Didn't you say so last time?
Yes, because you were making the Black Beauty bras.
That's right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Actually, I never have made one, and it's on my sewing list, but I never managed to fit it in all my other plans. I have to do that because Helga convinced me that it's a good idea, and she showed me hers, and I liked it very much.
That should be one of our next projects, Nicole.
I think so, Helga. Lots of projects to come.
Right.
I think the tricky part with bra making is you just can't have one fabric. Helga, correct me if I'm wrong. You need a lot of things, don't you, for making bras?
You need a lot of things, a lot of small and tiny things. And in Germany, it's even worse because there are no shops who offer these things. You really have to order most of it abroad. And all over Europe, there are not many shops. The US and I think Australia and Canada, they sell much better items. But it's very, very expensive because you have to pay all the duty. And I made a big order in Canada from Erin, the Black Beauty bra and lace and the small findings. And it was so expensive in the end because I had to pay duty and had to pay freight. So that I said I must find another solution. And I have now found a very nice Canadian lady living in Belgium. And she somehow sells it within Europe. So freight and duty is no problem anymore. And the quality she sells is perfect.
Very good.
There you go. Yeah.
I've actually just ordered again. I didn't want to buy so much this year because we all have lots of stock, but I ordered 2 surprise packages. One surprise package with lots of laces. Nicole, you can have a look and maybe we can find something there for us.
Yes.
One for you, one for me.
And it's sufficient for more than one bra? It's just a package.
It's certainly for more than one bra. It's just a big package.
Okay.
There's lots of laces. It's a sale. And another one with lots of strap elastics and fold over elastics and this stuff.
I don't even know what I need for making a bra because, as you said, Maria, so many things. And there's one girl I follow on Instagram and she made lots of bras too. And she did like 2 or 3 posts. She just wrote down all the things you need. And I looked at this list and I said, oh my gosh, difficult to get that because you need 3 or 4 shops to get that all together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I have a bit of experience now, so I can help you with that.
Good, so I can claim on you.
Oh, that's great. It's good that you found someone local, as in Europe local, that you can purchase from now. That's very good investigation work.
Yeah, that was a lot of work actually. But the Bra August challenge helped me because I got to know so many other bra makers. It's a real forum, thousands or hundreds of ladies sewing bras worldwide. There were quite a lot of Europeans, and I chatted with some, and there is also another source in Vienna. It's the only online trader.
Yep.
They also sell laces and findings and elastics. So that would be another source.
Oh, that's good. And then there are things around, okay, do you have the sliders and O-rings in this size? You know, do you small or big? And
yeah, exactly.
Size and color and everything has to fit. So this is quite difficult, I think.
Yeah.
And it's very fiddly because you have all these tiny pieces, upper band, lower, and lots of tiny, very soft fabric. You have to be very careful when you sew.
I'd always be afraid that it doesn't fit after investing all this time of sewing and not knowing which size you need to choose and but we'll try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to use a not so expensive lace in the beginning and make a sample bra, and then you can adjust. I was very lucky because that Black Beauty bra fit me and my daughter, we have 2 different sizes, perfectly. But that's because we used the Canadian sizes. My daughter and I bought bras in Canada from a Canadian supplier when we were in Canada, and we used exactly that size because all that measuring is very difficult.
If you have to do it alone, it's quite impossible, I think. You always need somebody who helps you because alone it's impossible.
We will find out together. That's a good project, Nicole.
Yes, I'd like to try that very much.
Some of the power mesh, the back part of the band, some of them can be more loose and some can be more tighter. And so one of the things I do is I will actually sew the hook and eye closure on first. But I do it with a large stitch so that if it's too loose, then I know to fit it a little bit better. And that's the only other thing that I do for myself when no one else is around.
That's a good tip. I will remember that. Thank you.
Helga, I know, has done beautiful bras and she sources them from the places that give her good quality findings and meshes. So she's a really good person to learn from.
Yes, I'm happy to have her so close to me because we only live like 5 kilometers apart. And so if there are any problems, we can just hop over to one and each other. That's great.
That's absolutely perfect.
We didn't do that yet, but it's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, we're so lucky to have found each other.
That's right.
All because of Sew Over 50.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
I think many ladies are afraid tackling bras because of these many little pieces and the many stuff you need. You have to do it once and then you're in it and then you know how it works.
Yeah, but my concern as well is that it won't fit afterward. These are the 2 big concerns you might have because it's lots of work and lots of material. And in the end, it's there and it's not where it should be.
Yeah, but that's the good thing about sewing. You can still change it.
Yeah.
And once you have one bra that fits you, you can always adjust and do the next one.
Yes, and you can use so many different materials that it always looks different.
Although you have to be very careful, as I made that big mistake with that orange fabric. I don't know if you remember that. I had this orange cotton stretch fabric and it was a rather thick fabric. It didn't work at all. So you really have to take care of what fabric you use. If it's too thick, it doesn't work. So you can't use every fabric.
There was some advice I got last year. some fabric bra suppliers, they have kits so that you can test the bra out. If you have the resources to be able to just buy a kit that's got everything together, you can use that to test a bra. But then the thing is, if you go to all that trouble to buy a kit and make your first bra and it doesn't work, it's disappointing.
I think so.
It is, but it is with every garment, isn't it? I mean, I always have to adjust my patterns whenever I start sewing, even with that coat. I don't know if it will fit in the end. Nicole is lucky. She has a very slim figure and she can use the border pattern, I think, as it is. I'm very short. You are short too, Maria, aren't you?
Oh, yes, I'm short. Yes.
You're a small person. And we always have to change everything, don't we? That's a very big disadvantage. And never know how will the garment turn out in the end. That's maybe that I have less fear of a bra because I have to change everything all the time.
Yeah, I'm lucky with border patterns because they really fit. I only have to lengthen the skirts sometimes or the pants, and I have to lengthen the sleeves by a little. And I do have to adjust for the bust. My bust is smaller than border advices for my size, but I know these few things I have to adjust, and then it works. I can sew a border style pattern in a European 38 and I know it will fit.
And you see, once you have a bra that fits, it's the same thing. You can do it again and again, and then you have the perfect fitting bra.
Yeah.
I've used Quick Sew 3300 pattern a few times to sew bras. When I've used it the second time, I got the fit right, and I think I've now probably made it 5 more times. I've tried a few other bra patterns, and as you said, Nicole, with your border patterns, you might lengthen them because you know, or you might change a few things. With bra patterns now, I know that the distance between under my arm to where the top of the bra is, so that armhole, I know that is shorter than most patterns. So now I can go to a bra pattern and think, it should only be this amount. So now I can do that. But it took a while to get there.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether I'm willing to invest that much time in bra sewing, because I don't know whether this will become one of my favorite sewing skills. I don't know. I'm so busy in sewing garments, but I really want to try once. And I think Helga is the one who really can help me with it. And so it encourages me.
Yeah, we will do this because the result is always so beautiful. A nice bra is always so beautiful, isn't it? Whenever I look at these bras the ladies make, I'm always amazed how beautiful everything is.
That's right.
You can make them fit. I'm sure we will figure this out somehow.
Yes.
Of course, it's a bit of work in the beginning.
Yeah, sure. But we're willing to do that. We're used to it.
We'll have a try.
Yes. And hopefully people who are listening will also think, okay, I will try X bra and know that it won't work 100% the first time, but hopefully the second time it will.
We should do a bra sew along once. But there are many. There's Bra August, you mentioned it.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
There are other sewing tutorials on YouTube. You know, to make a bra, you and I, Helga, know that you do the bra cup, you do the bands, put it together, hook and eye, pretty much done.
Well, sounds very easy.
Sounds so easy, Maria. Sounds like cooking water.
Yeah, heating up water, that's right. And that's kind of like the simple way of putting the constructions. It's the cups, then it's the bra bands, and you put them on, and whether you add. So, you know, the recipe is pretty much stock standard once you have a go at it.
Always the same.
Yeah, but then how it fits you, Nicole, that's probably the only thing that you'd have to tweak.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to encourage you to sew a bra.
Yes,
when you are ready. When you're ready.
I have to get that sewing kit because I like the one Helga made with the bees on it. And actually, I had spotted it on Instagram before I saw that Helga made it. I almost bought it. And then I said, Nicole, you don't have the time. And then I saw it on your account, Helga. I didn't tell you that yet, but I really had put an eye on it before. And I love that. I love the fabric, and it's so lovely.
Yeah, I made 2 out of that kit, actually. It's really big. The lace she gives you is for 2 bras, actually.
Okay.
I made one for me, one for my daughter. So if one doesn't work, you can still make a second one.
That encourages me too.
That's a really good conversation around making bras from 2 people who have made them and another person who is looking forward to doing them at some point when she's ready.
Yeah, that was very interesting for me, that part. I didn't think we would talk about this, but that was very good.
Thank you again for being on the podcast. This has been a really good discussion about bra making and our fears and the myths and what we can do.
It was so much fun seeing you and talking to you, Maria. Thanks a lot. Thanks again.
Thanks for inviting us, Maria.
Thank you, Helga and Nicole. You've been wonderful again. I'm really so honoured to have had you on the podcast. Thank you so much. And have a lovely day, listeners. Listeners, if you want to be a guest editor about a topic that you wish to share with So Over 50 followers, make sure you direct message So Over 50 on Instagram. This episode for So Over 50 on So Organised Style was produced by me, Maria Theoharis, with permission of Nicole and Helga, sound by bensound.com. You can subscribe to So Organised Style podcast, but with an S, not a Z, on all good podcast apps. Make sure you go back and listen to our free So Over 50 podcast archive. And if you can, consider supporting the production of this podcast on Patreon. We look forward to joining you in your sewing room next time. Stay safe, everyone.